Hello, Shalom Ola, and welcome to the Spiritual Life with Mystic Reverend Travis Tidwell. That's me. And I'm here with my co-host here, Ashley.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here. We took a week off.
We took a couple weeks off, but we
Yeah.
still have shows downloading. And I want to
Yes,
also
yes.
welcome my executive producer, Athena, who's also not only my daughter, but a high priestess and sacred dragon, which is our kind of philosophy religion that we live by. I want to thank the Lord God Yahweh, who is powering this podcast. It's all through the Lord God Yahweh and the Holy and Divine Spirit, and Sacred Dragon and Hermes and all my guides who are helping us here on this podcast. So it's powered by Yahweh and also Sacred Dragon, this podcast. So I got to give it up to that. But yeah, it's been kind of a lot of stuff's been going on for a couple of weeks, so we really haven't really connected in some way.
Mercury's shadow is still
Let me
lingering.
just kind of turn here a little bit. I mean, for those of you who are not watching us on YouTube, we're kind of
We changed the setup, so if you're looking on YouTube, look at our new background.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! And for those who can't see, go to YouTube.
We're mixing it up. We're mixing it up. But I want to thank everybody who has been tuning in the podcast. We've got some new subscribers to the YouTube channel, which is great.
Thanks. I know that's so exciting.
And, don't forget that we have the 007 series where I'm making predictions on different politicians and the world right now.
You just posted one recently, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
And,
I have to watch it. And what was that one on? Just a little.
God, I can't. That was on Donald Trump, actually, and some of the criminal stuff I see coming.
Mm-hmm.
But moving right along, I'll be doing some more of that later this week for sure, coming up here. It's a lot of work to get that out there. We're busy people. We have lives,
Yeah, stuff happens.
But so what's been going on with you since?
Honestly, I've been trying to get more into my prayer and meditation more. I've been trying to connect a little bit better. I feel like I've needed some more grounding
You bet.
during these crazy times. I don't know about some of you guys listening, but shit's just been happening.
Well, and Ashley's a high priestess in training, and we were talking about this earlier. When you're on your spiritual path, you can become more challenged.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you cry about it. You just get over it. You find your tools to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a high priestess does. A regular mundane woman will have her nervous breakdown, okay? A high priestess will go kill a fucking chicken. No,
Yeah, like
I'm
literally,
just kidding about that.
just rolling with it.
And I'm just kidding about
My
that. Excuse my
family's from
French.
my family's from Puerto Rico. We do weird shit like that.
No, but you go to the altar, you pray to Yahweh, you
Mm-hmm.
call your angels, you start carrying stones, you're using aromatherapy, herbs. There's a lot of different things we can do metaphysically to change the energy of our situation.
Change the flow.
And prayer meditation is a big key. We talked about that. Now, it's funny because I've seen videos on Instagram. Just don't want to get off topic here because we haven't started yet, but of some of these bikini models who are promoting meditation.
It's a
And,
little distracting, not gonna lie. And they say, "Oh, my fans," and I'm all, I don't know if they're fans. I think they're just.
But anyway, so they're like up at
Spectators.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning for meditation. Maybe they're meditating an hour. And for me, every day, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much unless you have a really laid-back lifestyle and you're going to bed early.
Yeah.
Because meditation is energy. And you only need, 15 minutes a day to start your day off with that. You don't have to sit there for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, at some point, meditate for different reasons, as we know. So it's all about thought, process, visualization. And that's what the spiritual life's all about. And that's why we're here to help share that information with you out there
Yeah,
who are
definitely.
listening.
Mm-hmm.
God knows that, like I said, we've all been challenged. I'm on my spiritual path. I'm a teacher, philosopher, ghetto prophet, son of Yahweh.
Speaking of ghetto prophet, I don't know
yes.
if you guys can see this.
What's it say?
It says half hood, half holy.
There you go, girl.
Don't mess. What does it say? That
Don't-
means pray with me, don't play with me.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that
Mary
means
Kim, for
pray with
grabbing
me,
this
don't play
awesome
with- yeah,
sweater.
Yeah, you betcha. No, it's a sick sweater. No, looks good on you. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, so, we're here talking tonight about Hermes Mercurius Trismegistus, which I've mentioned in other podcasts just because he's my spirit guide, and he's the founder of Sacred Dragon, which is an organization that I have, a little club, so to speak, and philosophy.
Members only.
Members only. Members go to travistidwell.us and check it out. But Hermes, I didn't know who he was. I had my first lady who was a Wiccan did this big projection. She goes, "Hey, do you know a guy named Hermes?" And I said, "No." And she said, well, he's your spirit guide, and he loves you. And he's given you a staff of 2 dragons and Sun King, Moon Goddess. I'm thinking, what have you been smoking,
Yeah.
And the girlfriend I was with at the time, one of them, because a lot of girls met her. A couple of girls met her, but she was kind of a deadhead type person. She was very open, but that was just like blowing her mind, And then I didn't believe her. I didn't know who Hermes was, and she didn't give me a big breakdown. She was saying that in a past life her father was Zoroaster. She was the son of Zoroaster, and I would believe her at this point because she was very prophetic. And because what happened was somebody, a sailor who I didn't even know, got out of the Navy, gave me a piece of Philippine mahogany, and I was going to do my own work on it and have a carver do some work for me. But anyway, so then, I get a new teacher I had a Native American Indian teacher, Jenny, and she said, hey, I'm done. I got a new teacher for you, this guy named Dave, and he's going to take you to your next level. And I was really kind of heartbroken because I loved her so much. I was like,
I remember you telling me,
she was spiritually breastfeeding me, okay. And
you're like, time to leave.
Yeah, no, mommy, no. She was so good to me. She's my cosmic mother. And so when I met Dave, he just seemed a little dark. The conversation was crazy, telling me he's death to me, and he's going to push me off a cliff. And I'm thinking, I ain't going nowhere with this guy. He's cray. And then, he gets my mahogany to his house, and all of a sudden the spirit comes into his body. He draws out the staff that lady a few months before that predicted to me in detail, and said that the god Hermes gave me that staff. And they don't even know each other. So that's twice now Hermes has come up.
You're like, okay, so I'm seeing the patterns happen.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
people don't know each other, and they're all telling me about Hermes. He's my guide. I got this dragon thing going on. Not realizing that he was the one who also that would be introducing me to the dragon of the divine mind.
It's the synchronicities, definitely. It's aligning for you.
And he's paid special attention to me. And actually what happened is that because my teacher was a channeler, he channeled a lot of different entities. And I told him I wanted to meet the person who gave him my information. And it was a Wiccan from Russia, 12th century. And Hermes appeared to her and gave her my name and the instructions to my staff, and I was to have everything of it for a dragon. And she thought she was going to meet me in that life in Russia, okay? It never happened, so when she died, she took that task with her into the spirit realm, and she's been waiting for me to find a medium so she could be free of her task, And that's how that happened. And so I was honored enough to have him channel her for me, and she spoke to me briefly. And she said, that's what she said, that he appeared to her, gave her my name. She expected to meet me, but it didn't happen. She was waiting in spirit. She said Hermes was like a father to me, and he loved me. You know what I'm saying? And
how did you feel hearing all of this? Were you just like the whole universe was just on your shoulders?
Oh, I was having a nervous breakdown. I thought I was really losing it.
Were you crying a little bit? Were you like, oh
yeah,
my
I was
gosh.
freaking out. I had to call my girlfriend a couple times to come over and hold my hand.
It's crazy. It's funny that you say that because I feel like only if you're in a relationship will people fully understand some of the stuff that people such as yourself that are very spiritual go through.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, when I got into the Keys of Solomon and we started having the staff mate, she freaked out over that and said, no, I don't think you're who you think you are, and I don't trust your teacher and blah, 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 because we're talking Hermes is a very strong influence for me, and he's got some big things planned here yet on this planet.
I think I read somewhere that he's actually over the period of his time while he was in the physical had created over 46,000 workings or teachings basically.
Yeah, that's a good guess, but yeah, there's a lot out there. Yeah, there's a lot out there, starting from the Emerald Tablet.
Exactly. But like there's like a main 42, correct?
Oh yeah. He's the teacher of all the arts. I mean, he's the master inventor of all the arts, whether it's alchemy or any oracle you want to talk about. Really, in our consciousness and on this planet, he's known as the father of medicine. Because he was the first philosopher to mix an herb and a mineral and whatever else he threw in on it and said, okay, eat this. Because the two serpents, the caduceus, who, they intertwine him at some point on that staff, and they meet together, which means miracles on the inside of the body, on the inner world. Okay, that's what that means. And also, serpents to me represent activated kundalini, which is working and making you healthy and everything's flowing.
Of course.
But of course, that's the symbol of Hermes. It's the staff of Hermes. You see it in medical society all the time. It's either the staff of Hermes or the staff of Moses. So when you look at Hermes that way, I mean, yeah, he's made a name for himself on this planet because we have his staff to this day in our society. That's how heavy he is as an intellect and a human being here on this planet.
And I'm sure people
You know.
have seen this sign or icon millions of times throughout their life and never second guessed it.
Yeah, never knew he was a magical philosopher and could do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, he was. Well, they said thrice great because he was greater than any.
He was
king
thrice
that
the
ever,
intelligencer. He was thrice. He knew animal, vegetable, mineral. He knows all the worlds like the back of his hand. And so his philosophy is proven because it's truth. It's universal. It's the knowledge of God. It's the science of God.
Of course.
And Hermes does acknowledge the one true source. And that's the other reason why I hang with them. Because if he's like, yeah, I'm Hermes, but guess what? I'm really like, it's like, no, sorry, dog. Like, I got to move on. Like, But no, Hermes has been pretty cool. So, yeah, you look at Hermes that way. Great philosopher. A lot of mysteries about Hermes. His staff is powerful. And see, so then Hermes gives me this staff, which are two dragons facing outward with the Sun King Moon Goddess, which represents the power of spirit and the manifestation of spirit making miracles on the outer world. So that's where the staff's at. Someday I'll be doing some stuff, maybe evoking lightning, who knows.
And this was channeled to him?
Yeah, everything's channeled through Hermes for me on this. On
through the individual that created the staff for you.
Oh, yeah,
it was channeled down to him.
Down
it was
to him.
Very detailed.
Yeah, it was very detailed. I still have his original artwork and everything for the staff. But yeah, it was amazing how I was not going to follow that lady's advice who said I saw two dragons, and she described that staff perfectly. I walked out thinking, no, that ain't going to happen.
Of course.
And then, when he brought the same staff up in writing, it was like, oh, my God, this is crazy, But it was a good experience. Best teacher I ever had, honestly, besides my two main was him and Jenny. So, yeah, Hermes has always been special to me now. Also, I know now that when I was like 10 or 11 years old, I had a being appear to me. I thought it was an alien, but it was the Egyptian Thoth that appeared to me at the end of my bed because he was a man with a bird head.
The ibis. So, would you mind elaborating how Thoth and Hermes tie in together? Because I know people hear them synonymously with each other.
Well, that's a good question. Because, Greece and Egypt are close together. You know what I'm saying? And so because he was such a master teacher and philosopher of information, he was probably inducted immediately as a teacher to their culture. They didn't just have Egypt. They had other bloodlines that were in that tree for the Egyptians with knowledge and gods. But let me read to you something real quick here, and we have everybody listening. Now, I have a book here called The Magus. Written by Francis Barrett, who I bless his soul and his spirit in prayer.
I love you and your books. You're just like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, so, really, you can only get this book from England. And this book it's a complete system of occult philosophy. And it's two books and bound as one. So there's a lot here to think about. Now, he also has Hermes in this because Hermes in all metaphysics is mentioned in every spiritual realm. He is a god created by God. He's the god of the underworld. He helps you pass the river too when you die. He's
the halls of Amenti from Emerald Tablets. If anyone's read that.
Yeah, he takes you across the river if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's a master teacher. But in the Magus, and this is a Christianized copy of the Kabbalah, which I don't really promote to my students. I promote this book specifically, The Magus by Francis Barrett, to everybody out there to order. It's ancient England, and this guy performed miracles, did the alchemy stuff that was incredible. He knew somebody who, I'm not sure, I think it was 14th, 15th century maybe, who went before the queen and made it snow in her garden during the summer. I mean, we're talking magic,
Miracles. Yeah.
But then go back to Led Zeppelin we were listening to earlier, where there's one quote in one of their songs that says, when magic was in the air, because in England magic was in the air. I mean, a lot of crazy shit.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't even fathom.
They tried actual pigs were being possessed by demons, But anyway, so in the Magus, they do have a small autobiography section in the back, which I love. Let me see what we have here for this book real quick. The Celestial Intelligencer, the Magus. Some might say Magus. Now, I also heard that they still teaches this book in the universities for occult philosophy in England. He was a student in chemistry, metaphysics, natural and occult philosophy. Just like I have, I practice natural magic, planetary magic, and ceremonial magic. So my natural magic is earth, it's mother. It's using stones and herbs and oils and things of that nature. Just trying to get a date on this book here. Actually, this was copyrighted in 1967, but its works are old. So yeah, in the back we have Hermes. I did bring my magnifying glass if I need it, because vision's here, but we should be okay. And we're also bringing some frankincense right now. So hopefully, if you're at home listening to this podcast or watching us on YouTube, sage yourself while we're talking. Get into the mood, purify yourself. If you're driving, just enjoy the vibration we're sending to what we have here with you in this episode. Hermes Trismegistus, who is the author of the Divine Poemandor and some other books, lived sometime before Moses. He received the name of Trismegistus, or Mercurius ter Maximus, thrice greatest intelligencer, because he was the first intelligencer who communicated celestial and divine knowledge to mankind by writings. He was reported to have been king of Egypt. Without doubt, he was an Egyptian. Nay, if you believe the Jews, even their Moses, for the justification of this they urge. First, his being well skilled in chemistry, made the first who communicated that art to the sons of men. They urged the philosopher's work of rendering gold medicinal, or finally of the art of making heirloom portable, teaching alchemy, the Kabbalah, which they said was shown to him by God on Mount Sinai. For all of this is confessed to be originally written in Hebrew, which he would not have done he not been a Hebrew, but rather in this vernacular tongue. But whether he was Moses or not. So a lot of people, ancient philosophers, he could have been Moses. Only because they both had serpents on their staffs is one of the issues.
Around the same time period.
No.
Okay.
Possibly. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, let me finish this. So, but whether he was Moses or not, it was certain he was an Egyptian. Even Moses himself also was, and therefore, the age he lived in, we shall not fall short of at this time, if we conclude he flourished much about the time of Moses. Okay, so that answers your question. Mm-hmm. I don't remember this by heart. And if he really was not the identical Moses affirmed to be by so many, he was affirmed to be by so many mm-hmm. in this philosophy.
I'm sure that was a lot of people back in the day.
Yeah, it was more than probable that he was the king of Egypt for being chief philosopher. He was, according to the Egyptian custom, initiated into the mysteries of priesthood, from thence the chief governor or king. He was called ter Maximus, as having a perfect knowledge of all things contained in the world, which things he divided into three kingdoms: animal, vegetable, and mineral. So, he's really breaking it down for everybody. You got to give him a lot of credit for that. Going back to him, and I hate to fade out here. Let's see here. In knowledge comprehension of which three he excelled and transmitted to posterity in enigmas and symbols, the profound secrets of nature. Likewise, a true description of the philosopher's quintus or universal elixir, which he made as the receptacle of all the celestial and terrestrial virtues. The great secret of the philosophers he discoursed, on which was found engraven upon a Sarmadine tablet in the valley of Ebron. Johannes Functius, Functius in his chronology says he lived in the time of Moses, 21 years before the law was given in the wilderness. Sudius seems to confirm it by saying Credo Mercurium Trismegistum Sapatimium Egyptian flourish ante Pharaonemon. So they're saying Hermes was a pharaoh, possibly in this writings. But this is the Sudis say may be applied to several ages, for that pharaoh was the general name of their kings, or possibly it might be intended before the name of pharaoh was given to their kings. It might be Trismegistus to exist 400 years before Moses, before Abraham's ascent to Egypt. So there's a lot of mysterious stuff here. I mean, depending on the philosophy, because we have no real actual factual, we have some dates on his writings for sure, which are ancient, but all these different roles he played was just kind of mysterious.
But I think like when you're an eternal being, you would definitely transition or transcend through time as different, I guess, godheads in some sort of form. So it could be Thoth that turned into Hermes because they were closely related.
I really feel they were both at the same time.
I feel like they were actually the
I
same
feel when he walked
person.
into Egypt, that was the personality he took on.
Yes.
When he went back home to Greece, he was Hermes.
Exactly. I feel like it was the same person.
Excuse me. And that's what I feel, because I also feel that in the past life I was a son of Hermes, because he loves me this much to give me so much. Man, it's crazy that I feel like my name in that life was Tat. And,
didn't you say, how did you get that name again?
It's in the book of Hermes.
No. How did you get that name, or how did you find out?
Tat?
That,
It's in the Divine Pymeter.
But like, how did you stumble across that used to be your name? Like, how did you know immediately? Like, oh, that's who I was in a previous life.
It was a moment I had because I've been feeling this love from him for all these years. I mean, the guy's I got so much stuff dragon given to me through him, and it's just been an incredible experience because of him. And when I found out I had Greek in my blood, I was like, okay. I really feel like this is one of the reasons why this is happening to me too. I do have a connection with the Greek culture, but so it was just something it was almost like an epiphany. I felt like I had a past life moment with him, because I haven't been here in 2,000 years at least. I'm a soul that doesn't come back a lot for some reason. This is my 8th time here on Earth. I am from the Galactic Center, and that's just not no bullshit. That's an astrology. That's mathematics. So, I'm sorry to just put it that way with no filter, but yeah, a lot of people can say anything, but I can actually back that up. So I'm 27 degrees rising Sag. Figure it out. But no, so the mystery with Hermes deserves to be a mystery because he's so powerful and he brings so much in. Like they're saying. Let me just finish this. It's not that far. There is no doubt but that he possessed the great secret of the philosophic work, and if God ever appeared in man, he appeared in him, as is evident both from his books, his Pymander, in which the works he has communicated the sum of the abyss, the divine knowledge to all posterity, by which he has demonstrated himself to have been not only an inspired divine, but also a deep philosopher obtaining his wisdom from God and heavenly things and not from man. And that would be true. And that's really all they say in this. And that's a good little story because you didn't hear that one before. This is something a lot of people out there have not heard about him being connected to Moses also, because he was Egyptian. Hermes had to have been this, a god amongst gods, which makes me feel that he could have been, really a hybrid god-human. You know what I'm saying?
I have an idea, like in
right,
my
Tina?
own. I feel like my own personal opinion when it comes down to it is a lot of his workings. I think they are of great value to humanity, and that they've been actually hidden, I think, from the public to run an agenda. And I know that sounds a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, but I know for a fact when people are going to excavate like new sites in Egypt, like we're not finding out the whole truth of everything that we're finding out via hieroglyphics. So I know that these workings or these teachings would unlock the human mind, and that's once that happens, that's too powerful to contain. And I feel like people there's a
Right, but
other
there's a way. But there's a
entity.
way to bypass that. So
Yeah, but not everyone has that. And he even talks about that. Hermes actually even talks about it in his book, that, it's going to be hard to be able to ascend. So you just have to come at it like, if you really want to get on that path or his path, you really have to find it. You have to uncover the truth. You're on your own, because these things aren't just going to be easy just to grab, when you're
well,
really walking that path.
well, no, and that's why Hermes himself has channeled to me all the tools and foundation, everything I do have for Dragon and my philosophy and everything I have, and I give it all to Yahweh. But for sure, Hermes is the guy who brings me the success with everything. He's the one who takes care of me. Excuse me. And the fact that you're right. I mean, he's a global teacher. His staff is still used in our world today as a symbol of medicine. Mm-hmm. And but modern medicine is not going to say, okay, our medicine came from metaphysics.
See, there you go. Like another truth that's hidden right in plain sight, and people
or
didn't
hermetics,
know.
the inner workings of man. So that's where Hermes gets robbed from that information, and he's not really given the true honor in our American culture,
Especially
other
the
cultures.
Western culture.
Yeah, and let's face it. So Moses had a staff with a serpent on it. So why would that be a healing staff? Because it was said that the staff that Moses had a good serpent on it. And so people who had been bitten by the serpent and were evil or possessed, when they were bitten by his serpent, that they were cleared and freed from it.
From Hermes?
No, from negative energy. No, I'm talking about Moses now.
Oh, okay.
No, Moses had a serpent. See, we know what Hermes' staff represented. The two serpents inside represented medicine, mm-hmm. and the miracle of life changing and healing through medicine. But Moses only had one serpent on his staff. It was made of gold, mm-hmm. for what they say. Or there was a golden serpent, I believe. There was a serpent on his staff, and they say that it was there to bite people who were possessed by the devil or, were cursed in some way, and it would heal them.
Okay, so for people that don't know, because I had to actually Google this, it is like a regular walking stick with a snake wrapped going up, basically. So it's a little bit more old-fashioned than the caduce, if people want a better picture of it in their mind.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, there's a serpent around.
You see? Or that's one of the
theories. You bet.
There you go.
I mean, so, at some point, this serpent has been a major influence here in the Adam and Eve consciousness and on this planet. So he used his staff to heal people also, from the rumors.
Part the Red Sea.
Yeah, and
mm-hmm.
for the rumors, I mean, it was very powerful. So, I have a staff given to me by Hermes, who could have been Moses. I have, instead of serpents, I have dragons, so I feel the evolved serpent and the reptilian family.
Don't get me talking about reptilians. Like, no comment on that. I'm actually reading more about the staff. It says the use of a staff as a weapon makes Moses' staff a concrete image of Yahweh's power in his battle against Pharaoh. Its function as a symbol of royalty presented as a concrete challenge to Pharaoh's authority, as seen with Aaron's staff swallowed the staffs of the magicians in Exodus 7.8 through 13, if people are looking to know. So I don't know if that's watered down.
No, not at all, because in the book it says that Pharaoh had magicians, and they were there, and when Moses threw his staff on the ground, it turned into a serpent in front of everybody, and that's real, mm-hmm. Because his magic was very strong, and it was very strong back then in general. His magicians threw staffs down too, turned into serpents, but his devoured them both. So, because the power of Yahweh is undeniable. Mm-hmm. It's undeniable. See, we're having Passover this weekend.
Yeah, isn't that on Saturday?
Yeah, it is, and at Saturday night I'll be doing something for sure at the altar.
Someone bring us some chahala. So
for
good.
Sure. I think you can get it off. What is it? La Costa Boulevard. There's a little kiosk.
Yes, that right up by the lagoon.
Yeah.
I love that place. It's so good. For anyone in
maybe I will go down there
San
Friday
Diego.
when there's no traffic. Traffic's been so bad here in Southern California. But going
Such a
back to
good thing.
Hermes and Moses, yeah, it's funny because so Hermes is with me. He activates me, and then who becomes one of my other heroes is Moses. So I have Moses and Hermes here with me. I have Hebrew and Egyptian as well as Greek. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I've aligned myself with these deities now. Athena didn't. Who's Hermes' father? And isn't it Zeus? So Hermes is the son of a god
The god of gods.
who's this who and his father is the son of a god of gods.
God
Okay,
of gods.
they might say Zeus is the ultimate, but
Which
no.
I never believed in, by the way,
Yeah.
ever. No.
I believe he is a very powerful god, and he's definitely the god of the Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? The spark
The
at some point.
Odin of their culture, basically.
Yeah, you betcha. But again, we all acknowledge the most supreme and high source, which is Yahweh. So, what else can you tell me, Athena, about Hermes in Greek? Huh?
He's testing her COVID history skills real quick, guys.
Yeah. What else can you tell me?
There's not really much I can say.
Okay. Just give me one thing.
Just because I know there's a story about him and one of his brothers and where he stole.
His cattle.
I'm pretty sure he stole the lyre.
Oh, the lyre. Yeah. See, Hermes. Thank you. Thank you for that, Athena. Thank you for bringing that because I have the lyre from Hermes. Okay. You
Yes,
see?
the lyre.
You see? I've got the stone. I've got the lyre, man. I've got it all. I've got the staff. I'm so lucky, honestly, for those out there who, Athena, you'll see a picture of my staff at the end of this episode because she's going to pan over to it when we end this episode. Ashley has Hermes with her too now as a teacher guide because she's in my vibration. And she'll be out there in the public soon doing her readings and performing her psychic skills.
Yes, very soon. I'm hoping. I'm definitely studying really hard.
Yeah, and make sure that you give us a heads up on any goddess workshop out there for these women.
Yes, I would love to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, now if you go to travistidwell.us, you can see the website it's launched. You can go to the newsletter and check out the message I have for everybody and for the group. You can go to the horoscope section and see what your horoscope says for the next 3 months.
Horoscope section.
So,
And if people want to know their angel,
yeah, if you want to know your angel, you can give us an email at travistidwellpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave a message on our YouTube channel, or you can contact Ashley at...
the Pisces Life Coach on Instagram.
Yeah, and for any of you female out there, as well as male out there that are looking for that feminine connection.
Yeah, goddess empowerment or priestess empowerment. I'm all about making, I think you mentioned something earlier. It's like you can't come to me if you're not already enlightened. So it's like basically I'm just here to further empower where you're currently at in your spiritual journey. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're we'll let you tell it. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, I mean, that's very, very true in on that sense. Now, if you come to Sacred Dragon and you join my group, it's a different story.
You have to respect the sensei.
You will obey. No, no, but going back to Hermes too, I just feel blessed because the Divine Pymander in English means the School of Shepherds. And right now I have a school that I'm creating masters. I'm creating shepherds and shepherdesses.
And everybody has their special talents. Like some people do oracle work, some people are healers, like some people. So it's not like anything that's like outlandish. This is stuff that's been happening since the dawn of time.
Right, and everybody in my group becomes a
ancestors.
Reiki master too. They're all master healers, and some more than others, depending on how much time they put into it or what they're attracted to. Like you said, some will get their
Speaking
masters.
of healing, Hermes healing.
Yeah, the healer. I mean,
And actually, just kind of like to piggyback off that. So, in regards to your Reiki healing, how has Hermes impacted your life and on the healing aspect of that? Because I
Well-
know it's been such a huge impact for you.
yeah, Hermes has taught me. It's kind of weird when I had my Native American teacher Jenny. I had an Indian guy that used to come to me with Hermes, and he would also assist me. But Hermes has always been the guy who says, "Okay, Travis, take this herb, take that stone, or do this ritual this way," or but for healing, I kind of feel that he's been the overseer, He's brought me the information that he feels I needed to become a healer. He's not one of my 3 levels of healers in Reiki, but he oversees it. And he brought everything I have, he's brought into my life. And I still have to give that to Yahweh. Yahweh used Hermes as the tool to influence me and to, bring me the information I need and the tools I need, and is still helping me grow and evolve. And, he's also given me the 72 sacred names of God so I can honor my Father with his individual names. But, then he's also brought me into Merkabah.
So let me ask, like, for somebody who might have like a little inkling that maybe they're associated with some sort of god or goddess or deity, do you just sit and meditate on it and just like look for the patterns in your life? Because I feel like that's so major to have Hermes as your spirit guide and
it's
protector.
heavy. It's heavy. I mean,
Like
that shit can only happen to me. Okay. That's what I feel sometimes because, you'll get a glimpse of the staff at the end of the episode here, but in our new location. But it's overwhelming, honestly, when you think about it. When I thought about it, it took me a while to accept the fact that he was my guide and he was giving me that much love.
Yeah.
And so I do know I have a past life with him. I do know he treats me as a father, so I'm compelled to say I was his son. Because who am I to have his attention, or the Lord God Yahweh to pull me out of the waters? I mean, this has all been a conspiracy by the universe to get me here today, honestly. So I give that to him. But going back to the Divine Pymander also, I mean, Hermes has been, he inspired me. He gave me the knowledge about the 10 stages of consciousness and whatnot. But, when I think about it at some point, I mean, he's motivated me to do more healings. He taught me how to do psychic surgery.
And also, when you say, what did you say right now?
We got the house smoky.
Oh, no. I was like, does that mean anything? When there's more frankincense smoke? No, okay. No. I was just going to say, but continue. My apologies.
That's okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so, I kind of feel that going back to Divine Pymander again, the school of shepherds, which means that it was a school of masters. And that's what I have. That's what Sacred Dragon is. It's from Hermes. It's the rebirth of the Divine Pymander, but in America. And that's as simple as I can say it. It's been resurrected by me through Hermes. And if Hermes didn't believe in the one source and didn't turn me on to the and it's weird because before I even got the dragon of the divine mind, I was already anointed to be the dragon.
And I know this sounds a little maybe asking too much, but when you do try to channel him, is there any specific pictograms or pictographs that you have in your mind?
Well, that's I'm open for anything. It does alter. You bet it alters.
Any reoccurring maybe
no,
sometimes.
Well, most of my, sometimes he comes in Egyptian, but to be honest with you, he doesn't as much as he does Greek. And
with with the wings, the shoes and stuff.
Yeah, you bet. And or sometimes with none of that. But he also, when he comes to me Egyptian, it's not so much he makes an influence. It's Horus who does, the god Horus.
Yes.
So when I think about him coming to me as Thoth, I all of a sudden have a new realm of friends because now Horus comes to me, the god Ra, Mot, Hathor, you know what I'm saying? Isis, Osiris. I mean, you got the whole family. You can't just take one. I got Bast. I've got, there's a lot of the Egyptian gods that I love and honor now because of that. So, but again, the mystery of Hermes is he's got this beautiful reputation for being in a couple different cultures and being known as the father of medicine here. Now, it's like anything else. A couple other people could have known it, but they never got the word out there. It wasn't like that, okay?
Well, so don't you feel it may be a little contradictory when people are like, the fallen angels brought, remember we were talking about this a while back about like there's certain angels that came and corrupted mankind because they
Yeah,
brought
sure,
some of those medicines there.
sure.
So I guess in my mindset, if I'm looking at this with reason and like realistically, I was like, okay, so what was the difference between what Hermes provided to mankind and what that fallen angel provided? Like, what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because I think one of the angels gave us fire, for instance, so we could cook food. I
like
mean,
some like the
give me
understanding
a
of
break.
cropping and,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So it just kind of a
You
lot
know,
of this stuff
I
contradicts
hate to say
itself.
it, but you know, that'll come out at the end of time for us. You know, the Watchers were blamed for giving man stuff and these angels. But, you know, it make it sound like God just wanted us to be infants here and not grow.
Yeah,
you know?
I was just gonna say like that would have took us like even quadruple longer than where we're at now. Wouldn't you think? In evolution, on the scale of evolution, we would have just been like kids forever.
Yeah. So I do have, in my philosophy, a problem with that sometimes, because everything that's happened, first of all, was meant to be, or it wouldn't have happened. We've also read and been told that, you know, a lot of the so-called fallen angels would return to Father's throne because they were here to bring us challenges and tests that God might feel we need or we might attract into our life, you know, depending on what we do and the choices we make. So, you know, the bigger scheme to this is very mind-blowing and very complex, and there's many different scenarios, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's vast, I'm sure.
So the last people here want to do listen to cut podcasts, get lost in something. So that's why we keep it simple, 10 Commandments. Try to keep your life into a good vibration of flow as much as you can. You know, the book The Magus by Thoth by Francis Barrett is a good book to get.
Oh, the back page is getting ruffled.
I've had to tape this up, but you know, there's a lot of good books out there. Simplified Kabbalah Magic, 10 Andrews is a book that I prescribe to everybody.
The Pymander, Divine Pymander.
Divine Pymander by Hermes. Yeah, that's my favorite. I have that on the altar right now. That was the first book I ever bought, and I was attracted to it before I even knew who he was. But then I started reading Francis Barrett. When you read the book, he talks about Hermes so much, just like a lot of the ancient philosophers do, because he's the father of medicine and information. So we're very lucky to share this information with you tonight. Now, as we talk about Hermes, we're hoping out there that you all are taking the time to do a 5-minute meditation, and then work it into a 10-minute meditation, and do it into a 15, because for most people, meditation is boring.
I mean, I know you've mentioned this before. You can do it in the shower. You can do it on the car on your way to work.
Reiki?
Just make sure. Oh, no, I thought you were saying meditation.
Yeah, meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the shower, like on the way to work in the car.
Well, it's kind of hard to drive and meditate.
Or maybe like prayer,
you know,
as long as you're...
You can pray in the car, and I would do that, but I'm talking about sitting down in a chair for 5 minutes and just clearing your mind. Try that once. Just try to focus on clearing your mind. 5 minutes. And you do that, and then, you know, you're going to want to do 10 minutes, and you go up to 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, I can clear my mind, and I can start forming a vision of what I want to create. One thing. Not a bunch of stuff, because, you know, I want it all. So, as most people. So, no, that's not going to be the way you're going to create. So, your 10-minute meditation, you start to get a vision. Now, you do a 15-minute meditation. You'll do the vision and a completion of that vision, and it'll just empower it. And you do that every day or a couple of days during the week until you manifest what you want. And then see how you're channeling better for yourself. One of my mottos throughout my whole spiritual life has been, don't handle it, channel it. You know, because I don't go out looking for something. I let it come to me. You know, almost every level of my life. Right, Athena? So how are we doing for time, baby? Huh? I can't hear you.
Over 30.
Okay, over 30. Okay, I think we have a few more minutes. Anything else we should be covering? Oh, and by the way, for everybody out there, I did want to give a shout out to my girl, Shelly, who, you know, helped me get my man's makeover. That we'd like to give me an email. I give you her number if you're a man out there. Take care of yourself, just like the women do out there. I also want to promote my album out there. Time Has Come by Travis Tidwell. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora. It's everywhere. I ask you to subscribe to Spotify, iTunes for me, and also if you haven't been to the YouTube channel, check us out.
Yeah, it's that Travis Tidwell podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. Also on my YouTube channel, I've downloaded some of the songs off my album. So if you haven't been able to get to Spotify or iTunes, You can sample a few of the tracks down there on that, which I'm happy to share with everybody because my music is Kabbalistic, and it's empowering. It definitely is. It's cutting edge. So I'm promoting that right now. Also, again, talking about the website, travistidwell.us. Go get your horoscope, read my newsletter, check out the pages I have. We're going to be adding more to that, but it's active right now and ready to go. The shopping cart is working.
Oh, finally? Good. Good.
Everything's hooked up. So if you go to the website, you want to join the group, Sacred Dragon, which is an extension of Divine Pymander, please do so. Mm-hmm. Don't let the word Sacred Dragon scare you. It's really, in ancient times, this is such an honorable being and animal totem to have and to work with. It's just incredible.
It was the creative mind of reason.
Yes, and it was the dragon of the divine mind that came to Hermes and awakened him and activated his consciousness to celestial information.
Yeah, that was a deep conversation. Like, he had a lot of questions during that whole conversation. I mean, to be honest, I tried to put myself in his spot, and I was like, man, I would have asked the same stuff. Like, what about this? What about that? And he got a whole encyclopedia of how the universe was created and the why things work the way that they work. And then it also ties into the tree of life. And the Sephiroth, which is honestly what I'm going to be focusing on next. As you know, it's like the more I read about it, the more it becomes prominent in your life.
Yeah, and that's why you should know the 10 Sephiroths and know how the whole thing works on the tree. No, it's good, and that's Simplified Kabbalah Magic by Ted Andrews. I mean, I promoted him so much. Ted's gone now, but God bless his soul, his spirit, and all of his loved ones. Excuse me. But, there's a lot of great knowledge out there. I promote the mysticism of Kabbalah. We have classes every Wednesday night. If you're interested in taking a class with me or meditating with me, give me an email or leave me a comment on my YouTube channel. You can also, again, contact Ashley through
the Pisces Life Coach on Instagram.
And do you have a goddess workshop coming up soon or no?
No, I don't, but I'll let everybody know.
Yeah. I'll keep everybody posted out there. All right, so I'm hoping everybody got something out of this tonight for information that might elevate your consciousness a little bit. Tonight's episode, we're just really promoting prayer and meditation as usual. I would also like to leave you with I am that I am. If you're not feeling grounded or you're feeling a little bit confused, do it I am that I am mantra for about, 3 or 4 minutes and see how you feel by just saying I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And bring that center of source to you from Yahweh.
It
by
does
that
work.
Chant. Oh, man, it's going to elevate you.
Yeah, that actually came to me naturally the other day. You just start reciting it when you start having infiltrating thoughts, kind of.
Yeah, when things are going down. Mm-hmm. It's like that time some demons were going to attack me in my dream, and I said, I am that I am. Multiple times with this reverence in my voice, and they just all disappeared.
I wish you guys could hear it in real life. Yeah. When he gets into it, it's reverberates on a different scale.
I am the master of the voices. So on that note, we're going to wish you a farewell from this episode. We're going to wish everybody peace and love. And again, I can only hope and pray that those of you who receive this information, that it would be a blessing, benefit, and a service for you. I want to give a big thanks to Ashley for joining the team.
Thank you for having me.
And co-hosting. She brings so much great energy. She's such a beautiful soul.
Thanks.
And definitely emanates the goddess vibration. Here's what we need, because I do emanate the God vibration big time, because I am a son of Yahweh. And I also want to thank my executive producer, Athena, because without her and Yahweh and Dragon, we wouldn't be doing anything right now. She's been in charge of everything and getting it done. She's the boss.
Yeah.
So we thank her. We thank the Lord God Yahweh this episode for everything that we've had in this life, have now, and will have. So you want to put that out in the air for yourselves as I said it. But I wish everybody out there peace and love. Many blessings to all. May God bless you, your family, your friends, and your pets. So be it. Amen.
So be it.
Time has come for a change.